Who is crazy enough to buy a house right now? Now, this is a question that I've been recently asked, and I thought I should get on here, make a video, and give my 2 cents about it. But before we get too far into it, my name is Warrell Thomas. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Georgia, helping you buy, sell, and invest. And I make videos just like this to help make your next move your best move. We all know the current real estate market is not the easiest one to purchase a house in. And I've been getting a lot of excuses lately. Like one, I don't know what's going to happen when President-elect Trump get into the office. Mortgage rates are too high. A recession is coming, even though we've been waiting on a recession for the past 4 years. The housing market's going to crash. Houses are too expensive. Inflation is too high, or we're waiting on better condition. And the list goes on and on and on and on. But here's what I've learned. No matter what's going on in the world, whether the sky's falling or not, there's a certain amount of people out there that need to move. And I've also learned that as much as mortgage rates have been the big hinder for a lot of people to either purchase or not purchase a house, for most of the people that I've been working with, that haven't held them back. As long as they can afford the house that they're going to purchase, then that's perfect enough for them. It's similar to the way that investors purchase a house. I don't know if you've realized over the past few years, even though the markets have been tough for the everyday buyer, investors have been purchasing a lot of properties. That's because a lot of them don't worry about what the mortgage rate is. As long as the numbers make sense in the end for them and they make their return, then they go ahead and make the purchase, despite what the mortgage rate is. So who's crazy enough to buy a house right now? I call them the 5 Ds, and I'm about to break them down. So the first D is for diploma. And you Gen Zers, yes, I'm talking to you. Did you know that 26% of adult Gen Zers own a house? And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, after you've been in college for 4 years or more, and you've had your freedom for so long, after all the partying and, hanging out with the girls and all this other stuff, you probably don't want to go back home and be under the rule of your parents. So a lot of Gen Zers decide to actually rent or purchase a house. In today's market, we've seen a lot of Gen Zers decide to purchase because rents and what you pay in a mortgage aren't too far off. I remember when I graduated from college, me and a couple of friends, we went and rented a house, and we probably rented that house for a good 4 to 5 years. In hindsight, I wish I had purchased it and then rented out the rooms, but we all learn. The second D is for diamonds. So after you've been living the roommate lifestyle for a few years, you probably find you a girl, or ladies, you finally find you a man who you want to settle down with. So the roommate lifestyle isn't going to work for that anymore. Trust me, I've been through it. My wife did not want to move in with my friends at all. She wanted her own free space. So all of a sudden, I found myself becoming a man and having to take on the responsibility of getting all my stuff together and purchasing a house. So when my wife and I went out and purchased our first home, we decided to go with a starter home. So it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and it was perfect for us. We had enough space up until we found out she was pregnant. And that brings us to our next D, diapers. So you've got that starter home and it's fine, but then you start to have a kid or two and you realize you need a little bit more space. So now it's time for you to upgrade. Now, the great thing is with that starter home, hopefully you built some equity in there, and then you can use that equity to help you get the next home. So that's where my wife and I are now. We have our first child on the way, and our plan is to purchase another home. But instead of pulling the equity out of the first home, we're going through the process of trying to find a second home, purchase it, and then keep our first home as a rental because the rates that we got when we purchased it were so great. Now the fourth D, I don't wish this on anyone, but we're human and it happens. So the fourth D is divorce. You've been with your significant other for a while and things just aren't working out. Now you decide to part ways and you have a house that you need to get rid of. So not only that you need to sell the house, but one person may want to purchase and then the next person may want to purchase as well. So that's actually 3 transactions that's going on right there. And the last D, which I really don't wish on anyone, is death. Unfortunately, this is a part of life. None of us live forever. And if you own a home, then you probably have it written in a will to go to someone else, but that person may not want the home. They may not have the means to take care of it or fulfill the financial obligations of it. So a lot of times they turn around and sell it. So the moral of the story, no matter what's going on in the world, there's always going to be a time when people have to buy and sell real estate. And what I learned that my job is no matter where you are and what stage you are in life and what you have going on, it's my job to help you through the process, to make it as seamless as possible and find those resources that work best for you no matter what's going on in the world. So no, you're not crazy if you're buying or selling a house right now. As a matter of fact, it's a smart move in the long run. Any chart or any data that you can look up, if you bought a house 30 years ago, most likely that house is going to be worth a lot more today. So with that being said, I hope you learned something today with the Your Best Move podcast. If you're struggling to decide if you want to buy or sell in this market, please let's chat. I would love to help you out and make your next move your best move.